Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
You know, going back to when we were children, I think that most of us in this courtroom thought that justice came into being automatically. That virtue was its own reward, that good would triumph over evil. But as we get older, we know this just isn't true. Individual human beings have to create justice, and this is not easy. Because the truth often poses a threat to power, and one often has to fight power at great risk to themselves.
If I didn't know better, this administration, I would actually believe, is almost purposely trying to destroy the United States of America. I've never seen anything like it.
So, in fact, yes, they are taking fuel right away from people as they attempt to fuel their vehicles. And people are surrounding the police, even though the police are actually being extremely calm and cool about kind of everything, except for they're taking fuel, I guess. But other than that, they're being pretty respectful to everyone, considering they just got surrounded in like 2 seconds.
Think with me. Are we going to just watch our freedoms and our liberties recede over the horizon? Or are we as churches and individuals going to pray for God to send revival?
Who's doing this?
Go ahead.
So what we're doing here is trying to get fuel for the boys on Wellington Street here. What they're trying to do at midnight tonight is charge anybody and everybody bringing fuel into the city for our boys. And these guys have families, they've got kids, and they're going to put these guys in the street. They bought up every hotel room, so there's nowhere for any of us to go and no way to get home. I don't know what kind of fight they're in, but it's not fucking right.
And sorry, are you a part of it, or what are you being occupied at?
I came from Alberta, and I work in construction, but right now, you know, we're all one people trying to help each other. It doesn't matter what race, creed, gender, doesn't matter. We're all in this together.
And what's the government calling you?
The government's calling us a bunch of racists and such. I've been hanging out with guys from Quebec. I've met Asian people, brown, like whatever kind of people you can imagine.
Canadians.
That's the thing.
Multicultural
It
Canadians.
doesn't matter where we're from. Right now, we're all one people. And right now, this next week, they're going to try and test us. They're going to try and starve us out. It's not right.
That's not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. Show this world this is still a government of the people, for the people, and by the people. Nothing as long as you live will ever be more important. It's up to you.
So they're saying at midnight tonight, they're not going to allow anybody to bring in any more fuel. No propane, no gas cans. Anybody that brings in fuel will be charged with assisting in illegal activity. Because what they're claiming is that this convoy is illegal. So they're saying, but now those cops said that they were not going to enforce it today. They wanted them to start enforcing it today. They said no. But at midnight tonight, anybody that's bringing in jerry cans, propane tanks, fuel of any kind, is assisting in illegal activity. The fuel will be seized and you will be charged.
Diesel included?
Diesel included.
Thank you.
What's That's
You're
right.
gonna fill up all the cars now? Is that
Fill
what
up all the cars today. And if you need to get fuel in today.
God has said, if my people which are called by my name shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and will heal their land.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. We decided long ago that the dangers of excessive and unwarranted concealment of pertinent facts far outweighed the dangers which are cited to justify it. Even today, there is little value in opposing the threat of a closed society by imitating its arbitrary restrictions. Even today, there is little value in ensuring the survival of our nation if our traditions do not survive with it. And there is very grave danger that an announced need for increased security will be seized upon by those anxious to expand its meaning to the very limits of official censorship and concealment. That I do not intend to permit to the extent that it's in my control. And no official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, civilian or military, should interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news.
And Americans are going to wake up and say, wow, what is it that we voted in here?
Wow. Wow. Everywhere, look at the people, you guys. This is insane. This is insane. Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence, on infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation instead of free choice, on guerrillas by night instead of armies by day. It is a system which has conscripted vast human and material resources into the building of a tightly knit, highly efficient machine that combines military, diplomatic, intelligence, economic, scientific, and political operations. Its preparations are concealed, not published. Its mistakes are buried, not headlined. Its dissenters are silenced, not praised. No expenditure is questioned, no rumor is printed, no secret is revealed. No president should fear public scrutiny of his program, for from that scrutiny comes understanding, and from that understanding comes support or opposition, and both are necessary. I am not asking your newspapers to support an administration, but I am asking your help in the tremendous task of informing and alerting the American people. For I have complete confidence
because they want to know the truth. Because they want the country back. Because it still belongs to us.
This is the
As long as the
scene on
people
the
have the guts
highway
to fight for what they believe in.
as the Freedom Convoy here in Vancouver
The truth is the most
making its way
important value we
downtown.
have. Because if the truth is not endorsed,
Quite impressive.
the
amount of
government
people.
murders truth. If we
Honk,
cannot
honk.
respect the hearts of these people, then this is not the country in which I was born in, and it's certainly not the country that I want to die in. Denison wrote, authority forgets a dying king.
This is what freedom looks like in Canada
This was
right
never
now,
more true
ladies
than
and
John F.
gentlemen.
Kennedy, whose murder was probably one of the most terrible moments
This thing
in the history of our
stretches
country.
incredibly far and wide.
let's be honest, there are lies. Okay, this
tracking
administration
it
refuses to call the open border a crisis. That's
the last
a lie.
hour.
COVID
And I haven't found the
all
front
of the
yet.
Issues around COVID and the lies there.
But stay tuned,
hiding
guys.
Actual medicines like ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine, which were effective early on. Another lie. Your thoughts on why we can't get truth? Look at the Democrat Party right now, jamming in the debt ceiling situation in the spending, trying to put it on Republicans. Again, it's just all games.
If we look to the answer as to why for so many years we achieved so much, prospered as no other people on earth, it was because here in this land we unleashed the energy and individual genius of man to a greater extent than has ever been done before. Freedom and the dignity of the individual have been more available and assured here than in any other place on earth. The price for this freedom at times has been high, but we have never been unwilling to pay that price. It is time for us to realize that we're too great a nation to limit ourselves to small dreams. We're not, as some would have us believe, doomed to an inevitable decline. I do not believe in a fate that will fall on us no matter what we do. I do believe in a fate that will fall on us if we do nothing. So with all the creative energy at our command, let us begin an era of national renewal. Let us renew our determination, our courage, and our strength. And let us renew our faith and our hope. We have every right to dream heroic dreams. Those who say that we're in a time when there are no heroes, they just don't know where to look. We shall reflect the compassion that is so much a part of your makeup. How can we love our country and not love our countrymen? And loving them, reach out a hand when they fall, heal them when they're sick, and provide opportunity to make them self-sufficient so they will be equal in fact and not just in theory. Can we solve the problems confronting us? Well, the answer is an unequivocal and emphatic yes. On the eve of our struggle for independence, a man who might have been one of the greatest among the founding fathers, Dr. Joseph Warren, president of the Massachusetts Congress, said to his fellow Americans, "Our country is in danger, but not to be despaired of. On you depend the fortunes of America. You are to decide the important question upon which rests the happiness and the liberty of millions yet unborn. Act worthy of yourselves." Above all, we must realize that no arsenal or no weapon in the arsenals of the world is so formidable as the will and moral courage of free men and women. It is a weapon our adversaries in today's world do not have. It is a weapon that we as Americans do have. Let that be understood by those who practice terrorism and prey upon their neighbors. Whoever would understand in his heart the meaning of America will find it in the life of Abraham Lincoln. Beyond those monuments to heroism is the Potomac River, and on the far shore, the sloping hills of Arlington National Cemetery with its row upon row of simple white markers bearing crosses or stars of David. They add up to only a tiny fraction of the price that has been paid for our freedom. Each one of those markers is a monument to the kind of hero I spoke of earlier. Under one such marker lies a young man, Martin Treptow, who left his job in a small-town barber shop in 1917 to go to France with the famed Rainbow Division. There on the Western Front, he was killed trying to carry a message between battalions under heavy artillery fire. We're told that on his body was found a diary. On the flyleaf, under the heading, "My Pledge," he had written these words: America must win this war. Therefore, I will work, I will save, I will sacrifice, I will endure. I will fight cheerfully and do my utmost as if the issue of the whole struggle depended on me alone. The crisis we're facing today does not require of us the kind of sacrifice that Martin Treptow and so many thousands of others were called upon to make. It does require, however, our best effort and our willingness to believe in ourselves and to believe in our capacity to perform great deeds, to believe that together, with God's help, we can and will resolve the problems which now confront us. And after all, why shouldn't we believe that? We are Americans.
The American naturalist wrote, "The patriot must always be ready to defend his country against its government."
Hey, I'm with Greg. We are taking part in the Freedom Convoy, standing in solidarity with truckers in Canada and really across North America. We stand for their freedom to choose. We also stand with them as they fight for their jobs, their families, and their ability to take care of their communities. This is really about freedom. Freedom from people who want to be tyrants and dictate what we put into our bodies. We are against mandates from our political leaders. Political leaders shouldn't push their way into the patient-provider relationship. I'm also proud to say that Greg and I are at the end of Anchorage, turning onto the highway leading out to Eagle River, and there are still cars lined up at Cabela's coming out of the parking lot. That's how much we support freedom in Alaska.
Today's ceremony, however, has very special meaning, because today we are not merely transferring power from one administration to another or from one party to another, but we are transferring power from Washington, D.C. and giving it back to you, the people. For too long, a small group in our nation's capital has reaped the rewards of government while the people have borne the cost. Washington flourished, but the people did not share in its wealth. Politicians prospered, but the jobs left and the factories closed. The establishment protected itself, but not the citizens of our country. Their victories have not been your victories. Their triumphs have not been your triumphs. And while they celebrated in our nation's capital, there was little to celebrate for struggling families all across our land. That all changes starting right here and right now, because this moment is your moment. It belongs to you. It belongs to everyone gathered here today and everyone watching all across America. This is your day. This is your celebration. And this, the United States of America, is your country. What truly matters is not which party controls our government, but whether our government is controlled by the people.
Ours was the first revolution in the history of mankind that truly reversed the course of government, and with three little words: we, the people. We, the people, tell the government what to do. It doesn't tell us. We, the people, are the driver. The government is the car, and we decide where it should go and by what route and how fast. Almost all the world's constitutions are documents in which governments tell the people what their privileges are. Our Constitution is a document in which we, the people, tell the government what it is allowed to do. We, the people, are free.
And just hang out with friends and family, go to the beach. I'm just gonna go have fun, truckers, and thank you all. Thank you, truckers. Hi, my name is Gabriel. I'm from Manitoba. I'm turning 13 years old tomorrow, and I just wanted to say best birthday gift ever, having you guys fighting for us. I am so glad for you truckers. You rock.
Hi, my name is Matthew. I'm 12 years old, and I'm from Alberta, and I just want to say you guys are awesome. Keep on trucking.
Good night, truckers. Thank you. To Canada, truckers.
I got a little guy here that wants to say something to the truckers.
Thank you, truckers. Hi, my name is Matt. I'm 6. Go truckers. Have a good night. God bless. Hello, I'm Kalia. I'm 10 years old. I come from Manitoba. I just wanted to thank you guys